Hi, you guys. It's Yaz, and today I'm going to talk about the toxic activities that narcissists like or they love, okay? So understand this. When you get involved with a narcissist, a lot of them are into what I'm about to talk about, okay? So I did a reel about this, but someone said, can you go in more depth about it? So let's talk about these toxic activities that narcissists engage in. Number one, narcissists, a lot of them have addictions. Whatever that addiction could be, it could be drugs, it could be sex addiction, addiction to porn, addiction to gambling, okay? So understand this. Narcissists are big, addicts in the sense that they need constant gratification, constant pleasure. So they're going to be into a lot of these things that I just mentioned. They want to make themselves feel good. Narcissists constantly want to make themselves feel good. So a lot of them are into, drugs, some kind of drugs, like drinking. A lot of them are closet alcoholics. They could be into marijuana, weed. They could be into cocaine. A lot of narcissists do cocaine or pill pop. All right. You'll find that a lot of narcissists you would never think of are pill poppers. All right. So I had done a podcast about this, about the addictions of the narcissist, where I go really in depth with it. So go back and check it out on my YouTube about the addictions of the narcissist. But this is their toxic activities. This is what they love to do. And a lot of times you don't even know that they're into these addictions. Like a lot of times you may be with somebody and you don't even know that they're a closet alcoholic. You find bottles under the bed, or you find pills somewhere, or you find some kind of drug paraphernalia, and you're like, what the hell is this? And you had no idea that they were into it, because some of them like to hide it. They don't want you to know this, right? But this is what they're into. What's another toxic activity of the narcissist? They love to troll their ex's social media. I told you, these people are watching. They are watching. They're curious what's going on in your life. They want to make sure you didn't hit lotto, okay? They want to make sure you didn't hit Powerball or something like that, because otherwise they'd have to come in real hard to try to reel you back in. So they love to troll your social media. They want to see what's going on with you. It makes them feel better when they see that you're not doing well. If you post like depressive, depressing memes and stuff like that, then they feel, oh, good, they're depressed. They can't live without me. This is the way these people think, all right? So they're always going to be looking at your social media, maybe seeing where you're going, who you're hanging out with. Do you have a new partner? Okay. So be careful. Like, understand that they're going to be looking, all right? Try to put your stuff on private if you can, because it's not the narcissist business what you're doing. Also, don't ever post any depressing things. Don't give that narcissist the satisfaction, even if you are depressed. Don't give that narcissist the satisfaction that maybe you're sad or you're going through something, okay? Because automatically they're going to think it's because of them, all right? They're going to think like they think that they were the greatest thing in your life. So you don't want to give them any kind of satisfaction. You have to completely put your social media on private. It's none of their business. Another toxic activity of the narcissist, they love to spread lies. Ooh, do they love to spread lies? Always lying about everything, okay? They are pathological liars, constantly spreading lies, spreading rumors. Another one, they love to spread rumors about people. This is another way to devalue people, put other people down, to lift themselves up. Another toxic activity, same thing as the lies, is gossiping. They love to gossip. So you'll find that a lot of these narcissists, if they're gossiping with you, they're going to be gossiping about you. Understand that. If they're sitting there and they're talking to you about other people and they're bad-mouthing them, they're going to do that to you if they haven't already. So another toxic activity of the narcissist, big time gossipers, especially the covert narcissist. Always talking about their friends, talking about you, okay? Trying to put you down, even if things are good with you. Like I told you guys before in my other podcast, even if things are good with you, they're still going to be talking bad about you because they're so jealous and they're so competitive with you. And there's just little things that may irritate them and they want to just rip you up. They love to rip people up behind their backs. It's like a pastime for these people, okay? What's another toxic activity of the narcissist? Nitpicking on everything to control everything, controlling everything in the house, cleaning. They're nitpickers about how things are cleaned. They want, they expect everything to be clean. Meanwhile, a lot of them are the biggest slobs going, all right? That could go both ways with the cleaning. They could either be a big time slob or like a fanatic over cleaner, okay? Another toxic activity that I mentioned a few minutes ago, gambling, all right? Love to gamble. You'll find these narcissists are big time gamblers. They're big time, betting, all kinds of betting that they have going on. Love the casinos. Now, don't take this wrong. Just because somebody gambles from time to time does not make them a narcissist. I can't believe I have to even put this disclaimer on here, but I do, all right? Because people always say, well, I like to gamble and I'm not a narcissist. We're not talking about you, okay? We're talking about the narcissist and the toxic activities that they do, all right? Doesn't mean everybody that gambles is a narcissist. I just had to put that in there because, oh my God, some people just don't get it, all right? What's another toxic activity of the narcissist? Selfie pictures. They love selfie pictures. No matter where you go with them, they've got to take a selfie. You're riding in the car, taking a selfie. You go to the beach, taking a selfie. You're at the gym, taking a selfie. Oh my gosh, somebody even put this in the comment section where they said they'll put a selfie stick up like in the gym and people can't even get by and they're taking pictures of themselves and it's like blocking the way or something. I mean, that is so typical of what the narcissist will do. They're obsessed with selfies, all right? So whenever you're around them, anytime they feel like they're looking hot or looking good, they're like, ooh, I got to take a picture. Ooh, I got to take a picture. Ooh, I got to post this on my social media. I got to attract supply, right? So their toxic activities is that they're obsessed with selfies, to the point of over the top. It's not just about, it doesn't mean that people that take selfies are narcissistic, but they're toxic. Because it's toxic is because they become obsessed with it and they're using these selfies to draw in a ton of supply. So they've got to take a ton of pictures, right? What's another toxic activity of these narcissists? Bullying. They love to bully. Love to bully other people. Anytime you see a bully, you're dealing with a narcissist, okay? A bully is an insecure person that has to pick on somebody else to make themselves feel better. And that's a narcissist, all right? You're dealing with a narcissist. They don't care about hurting people's feelings, low empathy or no empathy. That's the narcissist, constantly bullying other people. Another toxic activity that narcissists love is stalking, okay? Not only do they stalk their exes or troll their exes' social media, they also drive by their house. They show up in places where their exes hang out. They also stalk other supply. Anybody that rejected the narcissist, they're going to stalk them as well because they can't deal with rejection, all right? Now, I threw in another thing that I thought about the toxic activities of the narcissist, what they love. And one of the other things that narcissists love is to not pay back money, okay? Why do they not love to pay back money? Because they love to get over on people. It makes them feel clever, makes them feel smarter. Oh, I got over on you. I didn't pay you back the money. Because what they're going to do if they borrow money is they're going to gaslight, say, oh, I don't have it right now, or I'll pay you next week or something like that. And they're going to keep making excuses to never, ever pay you back the money. Or they'll get angry. Oh, I can't even believe you would ask me for that money back after all I've done for you. Okay? This is what the narcissist will say to guilt trip you because they did one little nice thing for you, right? But one of the toxic activities they do is not paying you back money, all right? So if they don't pay you back money, and it's a small amount of money, they're going to disappear every time you ask them for that money. So consider yourself lucky that it cost you that small amount of money to get rid of them, all right? But yeah, that's one of their toxic activities, to borrow money and not pay it back. Now, here's another one that somebody mentioned in the comments, and it's true. I laughed when I read this, and this is so true. Another toxic activity that narcissists love to do is nicknames. Hello, kitten. Hello, baby. Okay? Nobody calls you baby more than the toxic narcissist, okay? And they're calling you baby like in the first day. Okay, baby, I'll call you back, baby. Oh, I can't, I miss you, baby. Meanwhile, you only had one phone conversation with them, okay? And all of a sudden they miss you. Oh, please, okay? These people are too much, all right? Baby, nicknames, buttercup, or whatever little stupid little nickname they may give you, all right? They're going to have little nicknames for you. But this is what narcissists like. They like little nicknames. They don't even like to refer you by your first name, okay? Because it's too personal. And also they like to call you baby because this way they don't have to remember all the names of all the supply they're juggling. They won't mess up. So they just call everybody baby. All right, baby. Yeah. Okay, baby. Yeah, baby. I'll call you back, baby. You know I love you, baby. All right? So listen, they love nicknames. This is one of the things, the toxic activities, have little pet nicknames. And also it's to call, they want to create a false sense of security. So they'll say, oh, I'm going to call you kitten or, wifey or something like that. Okay, wifey or daddy. All right, daddy or wifey. All right. So now you're thinking, oh, I'm their baby. They're calling me wifey or they're calling me hubby or something like that. This is all toxic bullshit by the narcissist to make you think that, you're locked in with that narcissist. All right. What's another toxic activity of the narcissist? Anything that gives them a rush. Anything that gives them a high, gives them a dopamine rush. You'll find that narcissist loving it, okay? Obviously, one of the biggest toxic activities of the narcissist is to jump from bed to bed to bed to bed, okay, of different supply, to sleep around with different supply. Oh, that's like one of the main toxic activities of the narcissist, is to sleep around and end up getting an STD and bringing it back to their partners. All right? This is what happens with their addictions. All right? They bring toxic things or diseases, STDs, and I did a video on that. Go check it out, about how the narcissist, they could give you an STD and all of that. So narcissists love engaging in toxic activities. They love the streets. A lot of them are for the streets. All right, drinking, drugging, prostitution, gambling, lying, cheating. And I forgot one other one I got to put on here. The other toxic activity that they love, you guys, is stealing. Oh, is this so true? Okay. Narcissists love to steal and rob you. So this is why I did a podcast a while back where I said, don't ever let a narcissist into your home. Okay, go back and check out my podcast on the Game Exposed podcast on YouTube, where I talked about Don't ever let a narcissist into your home. I did a podcast on that, and I talked about narcissists will steal, they'll go through your things, they'll rob things, they'll go through your paperwork, try to steal your bank account password, okay, go on your computer, all right? So a pastime or a toxic activity of the narcissist is to rob you, okay? Narcissists always want something for nothing, so they love stealing. I always say, once you know you're dealing with a narcissist, you got to understand you're also dealing with 99.9% of the time a thief. You're dealing with a fucking thief that's going to rob you. They may not rob you right away, but down the road, once that narcissist gets comfortable with you, they will rob you. Period. End of story. They will rob you, okay? Not today, Satan. You're not going to rob me, all right? Because I'm aware of this, because I listen to the Game Exposed, and I'm not going to let that narcissist in my house or around anything that's valuable. Don't ever bring anything valuable around a narcissist. Number one, you don't want them to know you have anything valuable. And number two, they will steal it down the road or try to steal it, okay? So you got to be careful. So these are the toxic activities of the narcissist. Addictions, drinking, drug, porn, stealing, spreading lies, gossiping, trolling on social media. Oh, I forgot, hoovering their exes. Ooh, nobody loves to hoover their ex and more than a toxic narcissist. So not only are they trolling their social media, but they may be sending them texts. They may even be talking to their exes. Most of these narcissists are still talking to their exes in case you haven't realized it. And sometimes they're still in a relationship with an ex, and you're thinking you're getting involved with this person. You're thinking they're single, and they're in a whole ass other relationship, and you don't even know it. Okay, you don't even know it. So you got to be careful with that, you guys. When they are, dealing with these exes or dealing with other supply, one of the biggest indicators is they're going to disappear and ghost on you. Okay. That's one of the things that I ask in my coaching when people tell me, I don't know if they have another supply, but one of the biggest things I say is, are they disappearing on you? And what times are they disappearing on you? All right. Big time indicator. Okay. So also, like I said, besides all the real toxic things of the addictions, the things that people do on the street, like the prostitution, the gambling, the drinking, the drugging, all of that kind of stuff. All right. The sleeping around. Besides all of that, they do bullying, nitpicking, gossiping, spreading lies. Also, they love to set people up. This is a major, major card of the narcissist, all right? This is a real toxic activity of the narcissist, is to gang up on other people. People say gang stalking, right? They love to triangulate. They love to gang up on others. They will create division. They will have friends hating each other. They will have families hating each other. They will have neighbors hating each other. So they love to cause problems like that. So wherever you find a narcissist, or wherever there's, chaos, you will find a narcissist. Wherever there's chaos, you will find a narcissist that's stirring up the shit. They're shit stirrers. That's what they are. They're shit stirrers. They're troublemakers. They get people to gang up against other people. They divide, okay? I've talked about this time and time again because I saw it in my ex's family and in other families too, how they divide, all right? Narcissists love to divide people. So understand this. These are all the toxic activities that the narcissist does. Get away from these people. They're horrible, all right? Nothing good comes out of being around a narcissist. They'll try to take you down too. And they'll try to get you involved in these kind of addictions. Maybe even drugs, maybe even in swinging. A lot of them are swingers. they go to a swingers club. It doesn't mean that people that are swingers are necessarily narcissists. So stop thinking in absolutes. But what they'll do is they'll try to make you do things that you're not comfortable with, all right? They're into anything that gives them a rush, gives them a high, and, they're toxic about it. That's the difference, okay? They're very toxic, and they don't care. So, you guys, this is what it is. I hope this helps you. If you like the podcast, please share the podcast, share the video. If you're looking for confidential one-on-one phone coaching, you don't know if you're dealing with a narcissist, what kind of narcissist, and you need clarity, you need advice, check out that confidential link in the bio at askyaz.wixsite.com/thegameexposed. Also, check out my YouTube, over 7,500 videos. I lay it down on YouTube, okay? A lot of information on there about, covert narcissists, a lot on covert narcissists I have, discard, malignant narcissists, controlling behaviors. It's all on my YouTube. TikTok is The Game Exposed. I said tic-tac the other day. I couldn't believe it. TikTok, you guys, okay? That's because, you guys, I get very little sleep, all right? Because when you live with someone with autism, you're always, you're living like with one eye open. So that's why I do the best I can here. Understand, all right? So TikTok is The Game Exposed, and Facebook and Instagram is The Game EXP 123. And have a great day.